Hi, hello, and welcome back to F1 Challenge Career Mode. My name is Mephisto, and today we're heading off to Malaysia for the final round of the 2000 Formula 1 season. Let's get started.
Located approximately 80 kilometers south of Kuala Lumpur, the modern Sepang circuit combines two notable straights with a demanding mix of slow and medium-speed turns. This dedicated motorsports facility is the first of a new breed of circuit capable of housing over 100,000 spectators.
Well, guys, this is it, the final race of the 2000 season. It hasn't been a great season, in fact, it was downright disappointing. And today, this all ends. But for now, let's see how we did in qualifying. So, coming around for our first qualifying lap, we crossed the line with a time of 1 minute 46.988 seconds, which places us in 22nd. But now, coming around for a second time, I pass one of the minorities, and as I exit the corner, I apply a bit too much power and spin the car. That's going to be costly. Then, towards the end of the lap, I go wide through this left-hander, causing me to spin again. So there's obviously no way that I can improve my time like this. But I decided to finish the lap anyway. Unfortunately, I had less than 1 minute left in the session, so there was no way I could do another lap. So we'll have to settle for 22nd. See you on the grid.
Hello there. Welcome to Malaysia. The weather, as so often is the case here, is just wonderful. Mika Hakkinen, first. David Coulthard, second. Michael Schumacher, third. Button, fourth. Barrichello, fifth. Villeneuve, sixth. Schumacher, seventh. Verstappen, eighth. Heidfeld, ninth. Giancarlo Fisichella, 10th. Irvine was consistently faster than his teammate. He starts 11th. Wirtz, 12th. Trulli, 13th. Mika Salo, 14th. Diniz, 15th. Ricardo Zonta, 16th. Alesi, 17th. Branson, 18th. De La Rosa, 19th. Marc Genet, 20th. Mazzacane, 21st. The Jaguar driver, 22nd.
Here we are on the grid, ready for the Malaysian Grand Prix. And the question is, can we score any points today? I don't know, but we shall definitely find out soon. And we're off to a sluggish start, but the start-finish straight here is very long, so we should be able to gain a few places easily. And we do, quite a lot actually. We went from 22nd to 10th in the first few seconds of this race. That is a lot of places. Anyway, let's see some replays. First we have the start, once again massive wheel spin, but everyone pulls away from the grid. I start overtaking cars, and as we approach turn 1, Mazzacane and Zonta make contact, so let's have a look at that as well. We are now riding with Gaston Mazzacane, and as the cars slow down for turn 1, he continues to carry his speed, then he slams into the rear of Ricardo Zonta, breaking his rear wing. While all that was taking place, Giancarlo Fisichella managed to find a way around me, so we are now down in P11. But I will try to keep close to Fisichella and hope that I can regain that lost spot. And indeed I do through the hairpin. That was a bit of a dive bomb, but we managed to get out of it unscathed. So next up is the Prost of Nick Heidfeld. We'll have to see what we can do about him. In the meantime, let's try and keep Fisichella behind us, because at the moment he is quite a threat. He's less than 3/10 of a second behind. I almost lost control of the car there. That would have been bad. Heidfeld is getting away at the moment, all the while Fisichella is breathing down our neck, but I think I can keep him behind regardless, for now at least. However, catching up to Nick Heidfeld is my main priority, so let's try and do just that. Now through the final corner of the lap and onto this very long straight, but that is the first lap. We've gained a whole lot of places into turn 1, then I almost lost the position halfway through the lap. But it's time to see whether or not we can keep this position. My hope is that we will, maybe even gain a few more. On lap 3, I see an opportunity to overtake Heifeld, however he shuts the door, forcing me to back out, and I go slightly sideways as well. Gotta pay attention there. On lap 4, we are still trying to catch Heifeld, however as I enter this double apex right-hander, I go very wide, hit the curb, lose control of the car, and get passed by quite a few cars. This is not what I wanted, especially now in our final race for Jaguar. Let's try to catch back up. So we've fallen down to 17th due to that mishap, and Button is having problems with his car. Let's have a look. Here is the Williams of Jenson Button, who is following Villeneuve, and as they come around to finish their lap, Button's Williams starts to let out some smoke, so he pulls to the side and retires, giving me a free spot. We are now on lap 6, we've passed a few cars that were in the pit, and we have the Ferrari of Michael Schumacher just in front of us. He is in 13th, I'm in 14th, which is making me worry a bit because he just got out of the pit and I have yet to pit, and I mount the curb on the exit of that corner, offsetting my car. Then I slam into the barrier and I lose my rear wing. This is not a good sign. Let's try to bring the car back to the pits. After what felt like an eternity, I finally make my way back to the pits. This is going to take so much time, oh dear. So, about 40 seconds later, we are finally ready to rejoin the race. And I bump into the Jordan of Trulli. Anyway, let's get back out there and see if we can still salvage this race. I doubt it, but it's worth a try. Just a little bit later, we are about to unlap ourselves in regards to Trulli. However, I miss my braking point and I just go straight off the track. This is not an ideal situation. One lap later, as I'm coming through this left-hander, I go wide and off the track. So that's going to lose me even more time. Now, coming around to finish lap 8, I'm slowly catching up to Mazzacane, who is around 36 seconds ahead. And his teammate Genet is having problems with his car. Here is the Minardi of Marc Genet coming through this fast left-right. Then onto the double apex right-hander, but his car breaks down and he's forced to retire. I never thought I would have to say this, but the retirement of a Minardi is going to give me a free spot. And considering that I'm in last place at the moment, I'm not going to complain about it. But hopefully things will change before the end of the race. We are about to pass the retired Minardi of Genet and move into 18th, and just in case I haven't lost a lot of time, I mount the curve through the left-hander, sending my car into a spin. This is going to become increasingly harder, and if I remember correctly, last year we actually did quite well here. And there's the Minardi of Marc Genet. Anyway, let's try and stay focused, or else this is going to become one of my worst races yet. And Ralf Schumacher is having engine problems. Let's have a look. Here is Ralf Schumacher, flames coming out of the rear of his Williams, and now thick black smoke as well. He slows his car, our teammate Eddie Irvine slams into the side of the Williams, and so does Fisichella. What an accident. Here is a view from on board the Benetton of Alexander Wirtz that is quite horrifying. Hopefully they are all alright. Well, they're just AI, so of course they're alright. Anyway, that little incident is going to give me one more free spot. Not that it is going to help out a lot. We are now on lap 10 and once again I mount the curve through this left-hander which sends me into another spin. This looks like it just isn't my day. I don't have much more hope for this race, to be honest. And my teammate laps me. Towards the end of lap 10, as I'm coming through this fast left-hander, I make use of the curb at the exit of the corner, however I use a bit too much of it, which sends me into yet another spin, causing me to lose my rear wing once again. This means that there's absolutely no way we can recover in the little time we have in this race. We cut ahead to when I'm ready to rejoin the race. That lost me another 40 seconds. If I were a sensible guy, and I'm not, I would have just retired after losing my rear wing for a second time. Instead, I'm going to embarrass myself all the way to the end. So, here we are coming around for one last time through this hairpin and down to the start-finish straight. We are all the way at the bottom of the barrel. We get to finish the race in 17th, very disappointing, especially since this is our last race for Jaguar. I was hoping that we can do better, but that just wasn't meant to be, it seems. But it's time to put all this behind us and start preparing for our next season. But for now, let's have one last look at the standings.
It's been a scintillating Malaysian Grand Prix. Let's take a look at the final results. Hakkinen first. Michael Schumacher second. David Coulthard third. Villeneuve fourth. Jos Verstappen fifth. Nick Heidfeld sixth. The Jaguar driver 17th.
Unsurprisingly, Mika Hakkinen wins the 2000 FIA Formula One World Drivers' Championship with a respectable 120 points, 49 points over second place Michael Schumacher with 71 points. Quite a big change from what actually happened. Of course, in real life it was Michael Schumacher who won the championship and Hakkinen was in second. But it's nice to see something a bit different. Anyway, David Coulthard finishes the season in third with 67 points. Fourth is Button with 51 points. Villeneuve is fifth with 22 points. Barrichello is sixth with 18 points. I finished seventh with 14 points. Fisichella is eighth with 13 points. Ninth is Verstappen with 11 points. In 10th we have Heidfeld with 10 points. Ralf Schumacher is 11th with 9 points. Frentzen and Irvine are 12th with 8 points. Salo is 13th with 6 points. 14th is held by Vert with 5 points. Trulli is 15th with 3 points. Zonta is 16th with 2 points. And in 17th we have Mazzacane with 1 point. So that is it for the driver standings. Next we have the constructors, where McLaren win the 2000 FIA Formula One World Constructors Championship with 187 points, nearly 100 points more than second place Ferrari with 89 points. Again, this is a departure from what actually happened, since in real life the championship was won by Ferrari. Moving on, third are Williams with 60 points. BAR moved back up into fourth with 24 points. Our team drops down back to fifth with 22 points. Benetton are sixth with 18 points. 11th is shared by Jordan and Arrows with 11 points. Prost are 8th with 10 points. 9th are Sauber with 9 points. And finally Minardi in 10th with 1 point. So, what did we learn this race? We learned that we should probably stay away from the curves at Sepang, since it seems that they want to kill you at every turn. I will have to keep that in mind for our next season. But overall, this season was pretty much full of disappointment. We barely scored any points. We finished 3 places lower in the Driver Championship than in the previous season, and 2 places lower in the Constructor Championship. I'm not very pleased with the results this season, but hopefully I will be able to make up for it in the next season. And since no one voted for any team for the next season, I am going to choose one myself using a random number generator. Whatever team I end up driving for in the next season, I hope it will bring us a little bit more success. Anyway, this is it for this video, but join me next time when we will be returning to Australia for the start of the 2001 Formula One season, which is going to begin quite soon. But until then, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, stay sharp.